Hey guys, it's Desi here, and today I want to go over how I was able to catch such a big move on SPX puts and go over my thought process in the trade. So, first of all, I saw this hourly high has been swept today, and we started breaking down on the smaller time frame, so I'm going to bring it down to the smaller ones. And we were basically getting this slow map down pretty much throughout the whole time. So, once this structure broke here to its downside, I was waiting for this fair value gap to actually this fair value gap formed. However, price didn't push back into it, which I wanted, and price started leaving without me, right? So once again, all my SPX puts or calls or whatever I take, I don't like to buy into strength, so I actually waited for a green candle to form, and this was the first green candle that formed. We were in a little bit of drawdown, but that didn't really matter. As you guys can see, the trade played out really well. And then I'll go over my profit targets and what I was looking for SPX to trade into. So we had the sweep on the 1 hour chart, and we were breaking down on the smaller time frames as well. So my first target, right, was I was just targeting some lows. So I had this low here that I was targeting. I had this low here that I was targeting. And then my final take profit area was actually this low right here. Give me 1 second. It was actually this low right here. So these are my 3 take profit levels that I was watching to get hit, and obviously you guys can see TP1 and 2 got hit really quickly, and then we ran into TP3 here, but we didn't get the full energetic move on this breakdown that I wanted to, so I actually held my last contract even through all this chop here, which I'll kind of go over why I held that instead of selling, acting as a reversal. So if you go on the 5-minute chart, oh, that's the 56-minute chart. If you go to the 5-minute chart, you can see that we had a bullish order block. I'll draw it out right here. We actually had a bullish order block that was acting as support, while we're pushing up to sweep this 1 hour high. However, as you guys can see, we got this energetic move to the downside, and we didn't get the the sweep that I wanted to. We barely came down on the 1-minute chart, swept it and reversed. And once a bullish order block gets broken through like this, it becomes a bearish breaker. So this 5-minute bullish order block turned into a breaker, and I held my last contract. I would be out on my contracts above 39.40 on ES. I would have sold my last runner on SPX for either break even or a small gain. And that's usually what I do with my runners. On my last runner, I usually either hold to my final take profit or get stopped out of break even or in slight profits. And then what do we do? Let's go back to the 1-minute chart. This 1-minute chart rejected here, and I was still looking for the sell side to get taken out with more energy, right? So we got this rejection out of this breaker, and then we created a 1-minute fair value gap that we actually traded into. And as long as price stayed below it, I was confident that my final take profit would get hit with the energetic move. And then as you guys can see, we started, we were chopping this fair value gap. We really couldn't break it. And then we took out our sell side with some strength all the way down to 39.13, and actually sold my contract into strength because that was my final take profit for about 1,300 per con, or it was about 1,200. It was over a 350% gain on this SPX put on my last runner. Remember, I'm not holding full size for 358%. I'm holding just 1 contract, or maybe sometimes 2. In this case, it was 1, and I took out my other cons, while they're green. I had my take profit 1, 2, and I even scaled some here. However, I still had 1 left that I held in case this breaker did reject and get the energetic move to downside that I wanted, and that's exactly what we got here. So that was a trade that I took to gain 100 or 350% on SPX. Keep in mind my entry, obviously I wanted to buy it into the opposite side, so I did on a white candle. However, everything was looking very bearish, so I put no stops on this. I tell everyone I don't like putting hard stops on my contracts. I rather use a mental stop, and also I rather the size smaller with no stop than getting stopped out at 15-20% or whatever it may be. And just for someone, if you guys wanted to know what would be my stop out if we came back into this fair value gap and actually broke above it, that would have been my stop out for the day. And as you can see, I dragged this across, and we're currently trading in it now. Even at the end of day rally, we traded back into this fair value gap and had a nice rejection. And now we're just, market's closed, no volume. We're just chopping around in this fair value gap itself. So that's how I traded SPX puts today for 300%. I hope this helps, and until next time, I will catch you guys.